machine. Some for brothers lost unseen, laughing at the edge where the madness roars, breaking the silence, pounding through locked doors. Dress it up, they don't sugar the core. Two battle-worn souls bringing thunder to the floor. Unfiltered fire spin what they've seen. The unapologetic podcast, raw and obscene. Raw and obscene. Raw and obscene.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of the Unapologetic Veterans Podcast. I am your host, the Unapologetic Veteran.
And I'm Stalls, aka Stallsy. You guys will hear that several times tonight. And aka the other guy. Welcome to another episode.
Still no Despop, though. I don't know if I can say that yet.
It's gonna be the other guy, whether the Despop or not. We're doing the other guy.
Fair enough. I'll give it to you.
So today, you guys, we have an awesome episode planned. We've got an awesome guest. Some of you guys already know who it is, so we'll bring him up in a minute. But dude, a lot of stuff happening this week.
Wild week. So to start with, Stallsy's over here has some huge news. We'll say huge.
Right. So for you guys who've been following along, I've been doing my whole VA path to 100. I got an increase to 80%. So yeah, pretty awesome, pretty big jump. As a matter of fact,
I would say so.
I just got my back pay for it, and it's already gone. So
burned a hole right through the pocket.
Right through the pocket, dude. I was doom scrolling through freaking Harley Davidson's inventory last night. Saw a bike and I was like, I want it. Put in a credit app online. They called me this morning. They were like, you're approved. How much money you wanted to put down? I was like,
all of it.
How much money do I have to put down? They're like, you don't have to put any money down. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put some money down, but you're not getting all my money. They're like, all right, cool. We'll see you Friday night. Is that good with you? I was like, shit, yeah. So,
hey, honey, guess what I did?
Well, hey, listen. So, in all fairness, she told me, or I told her, rather, I was like, when I get this increase, I'm getting a brand new bike. So I think she agreed to it, thinking it was never going to happen. It happened. So I called her today. I was like, hey, by the way, guess what I just did? She was like, what? I said, I just bought a new bike. She was like, oh, okay. So.
Can't really argue with that. I mean, when I got my increase now, mine was from 90 to 100. But when I got mine, I went and bought me 2 new guns. Actually, correction. I went to buy one very specific. Happened to walk into the store and, ooh, piece of candy. Yeah, I'll take that one too. And I left with both of them. And then I've just saved the rest of it. But I mean, dude, congrats, man. That's killer.
Yeah, so I still have 2 claims left out there, so we'll see how it goes. But I do have a path to 100, and it's a very good path to 100%. So that's my next big jump, and then I'll probably save that money.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that you definitely have set yourself up for success as far as what we can consider success within the VA system. I mean, hey, you never know what can happen at the end of the day, but with what you've got still out there, I think you're pretty rock solid there.
Absolutely, but that's not the only big news that we have. So, for those of you who've been following us since day one, know that Josh and I are both part of a awesome nonprofit organization, Veteran Bikers for 22 a Day, VB422. So we had this huge event that's going on in 2026, and at the end of the event, we are doing a benefit concert with IGY6 Veterans Benefits, and we have a venue for the event, and we have artists. Some of them really well-known artists, and most of them, if not all of them, are veterans.
Mhm.
So now we have to fundraise because we've got to secure the venue 100% by putting a deposit down. We got to pay half of the artist booking fees, but after that, we're good. So we
It's
got a
going to be a
long,
busy next
yeah,
few weeks.
yes, very busy, very busy. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Howard. Everybody, Mike Howard. There he is.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
Mr. Coop and Mike himself. What's up,
Yeah,
man?
Coop's in bed right now, so
Coop's in
don't worry
bed.
about that. You only get the mic half.
Well, all right, everybody. This was a great podcast.
Yep.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah,
How you guys doing,
tell
man?
us.
Dude, was that intro song was that like trademarked? Because that was dope.
I mean,
Not gonna lie. Every
it's-
episode I've listened to, I've just sped right by it. So I'm not gonna
You can't
Hey,
skip
hit
well,
that
this
little
one.
forward 15 so I can hear the talking.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing when I go back and try to listen and make sure everything sounded good. So I do the same thing, but yeah, it's a AI generated song, believe it or not.
That's
It's
very
all
good, 'cause
AI.
I thought you guys were out here hiring somebody.
Not yet.
Not yet. We'll be there one day. One day when we
Someday.
get big and Josh and I are sitting in a studio somewhere in person, freaking like doing podcast every day, like from 10 to 2 every day, and then we're going back to our mountain homes and chiefing it up in the woods somewhere.
If nothing
I'm
else, you're
already
dreaming
halfway
big,
there.
Scalzi.
Dreaming big. That's right. Gotta dream
You what-
big.
Well, Mike, why don't you introduce yourself and tell the people who may not know who you are, and give a little history.
Okay, so Mike, I always like to throw in the middle name Rocco Howard, half Irish, half Italian, named after both the grandfathers. So one was Michael, one was Rocco. So yeah, man, spent 2004 to 2011 in the Marine Corps.
Semper
Went
Fi.
to Iraq all of 2005, pretty much. Left in I think the end of January, came back in November. So we were there almost the whole time. And then re-enlisted, spent another almost 4 in before I got medically separated in 2011. And then as if Iraq wasn't enough, I was one of those guys that was getting out and was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. At first I was like, I'll be fine. And then once it got close, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And one of my buddies that got out like 8 months before me was already working for a company called Aegis Defense Services that got the contract for the embassy in Kabul in Afghanistan doing contracting. He was like, dude, this company's like hiring up. They're trying to fill all these spots and everything. Like, I could totally get you an interview. You can totally get. I was like, dude, somebody's really gonna hire me with like 7 years and some change of Marine Corps experience. Really? And he was like, I promise you. You can. It will happen. So, did the interview, and then sure enough, I got it. 2011 to 2013, I was doing contracting in Kabul. And then left that in 2013, and ever since then I've been working like regular civilian jobs, kind of in the same lane as what I did in the Marine Corps. I was a motor T guy, and believe it or not, I'm like a fleet manager slash director now, like taking care of vehicles for companies and managing them all throughout the United States. So don't ever let anybody tell you a motor T Bubba can't make it out there, because we can. But yeah, man. But obviously, what I'm known for is, the stuff on social media and whatnot. What my service dog and I do after I got done doing the contracting thing. Even while I was doing the contracting thing, right, I was struggling. That's one of the reasons why I left it, was because I was struggling over there. So I came home and fell into opiates hard, man. VA got me hooked on freaking painkillers. It started while I was still in with my doctor in the Marine Corps, and then it kind of just followed me once I got out of contracting. And it just came to a head in like 2013 and 2017, man. Like I almost took my own life, and that those opiates, dude, they numb everything. So then in 2017, when I got sober, and I was like, I'm good, I'm totally fine now. Like I'm not addicted anymore. Then I didn't realize I was going to start feeling everything I just numbed for however 9 years or whatever it was. Yeah, like 9 years. So 2020, I had like a come to Jesus with my boss, and he was like, "We got to figure out something to do with you, man." Like I told him the truth. I told him I was struggling, and then um, ended up finding Coop and got him, and then he kind of brought me out of my shell. That's my service dog. We're known as Coop and Mike on all platforms. Even have Facebook now. So, uh, and yeah, man, he just really pulled me out of my shell, got me to really open up, start using my heart again, start just being a real person again. I always say he brought me back to the land of the living, because I was definitely feeling like The Walking Dead there for a while. Not the show, like the real person. I was literally felt that way, and a lot of people in my life started saying, "Dude, you gotta put your story out there, man. Like we've seen the change in you ever since you got this dog." And I was like, "All right, cool. Like if I think I can help people and they're gonna respond to my story, I'll totally try to help where I can." And hopped online and got a TikTok. Didn't know what the heck it was. 2021, put it out there, and then it kind of just took off right away. Like our first video I posted was me taking Cooper out for his second birthday to a dog bakery and getting him like a dog cake and then feeding it to him at home. And it was just like going to the bakery, going home, me feeding him, and just like words on the screen. And I went to bed having 0 followers and woke up with like 8,000 or something like that, or 10,000, something crazy. And I was like, what is happening? What just happened? Because it just like took off. And like I've been seeing, the on this day thing where they'll show you videos from like that day a couple years ago. I literally just saw one the other day that was like me at our 2-week mark, thanking everybody for getting us to 80,000 followers in 2 weeks. And I was like, dude, this was just nuts in the beginning, man. It was just
Wow.
2021 was bananas for us. Like I did not know what to do. But yeah, so I guess that was a very long-winded way of telling you where I'm at right now. So
Yeah.
we're here now.
Well, so we kind of segued from last week's episode, which was, what's your fire? What's your passion? What drives you every day? What's your reason for getting out of bed, right? So we just thought, like, dude, this is going to be a great chance to do a 2-part episode, talk about it, and then bring somebody on who has exemplified that very thing, finding their fire, finding their passion. And so for you, I mean, your story, obviously TikTok famous. We're not worthy. But by the way, for anybody who has Mike's like phone number and tries to reach out to him, I guarantee you're going to get one of two things. You're going to get 4 rings and a voicemail, or 1 ring and sent a voicemail, because he's probably in the middle of doing something.
Dogsy, just because you're like that Geico commercial where it's like the dude's in the middle of fighting or whatever, and he's like, "My mom's calling me." Like that's you, dude. That's you. Every time you
Sounds
try, I
about
have
right.
this headset on, and I'm in a meeting at work, and I'm like, "Stasi, you pick the worst times, dude. Just like that Geico commercial."
I know, but no, you exemplify like that thing, that whole sentence, finding your passion. So when did it click for you that taking your story, and I know you said that, somebody said, hey, you should share your story and put it out there, you could help people, but when did it click for you that your story was something that other people needed to hear, that you needed to share that to help others? When did it actually click for you?
I mean, yeah, I think you're right there, because it's like when people started telling me like, we see the changes in you, you need to get out there and share it. I still was very ignorant to what it could do or who I would be actually reaching out to. Because like I said, when people started coming to me and saying that, they're like, you should get on TikTok, you should get on Instagram. I knew what Instagram was because I had heard of it before. But I had never been on TikTok. I had never seen TikTok. I had no idea. And I had people like, there's a huge veteran presence there. Like, You need to go check it out. And I was just like, okay, like, and when people that had it would show me, all the videos they would show me were all the trend videos or all of the singing videos or dancing. And I was like, I'm not seeing the veterans. What are we talking about here? Like show me what you're talking about that you think I would fit in with, because it's not going to be that. But yeah, so like once I got on there and I put out that first video, it was just like the wave of, I could not keep up. And still to this day, like we've taken breaks here and there. I think that's why our following really like slowed down. Because we're coming up on like 4 years and we're just now getting close to 400,000. So like if it would have been like it was in the beginning where it was like 80,000 2 weeks, like we'd be over a million by now. But I took so many breaks, like 2024, like let's be real, we don't stay positive and great all the time. We fight to stay there, but we go in lulls. And 2024 was like a crash for me, man. Like I probably posted maybe 10, 15 videos in 2024. Just had so much going on. I let myself go physically. That started affecting me mentally and emotionally. And I started feeling like I can't be somebody to help other people when I need it more myself right now. But it really clicked for me after I posted that first video, because I posted that first video and then it was like just the wave of like support and whatnot. Like I could not keep up with, every time I opened my phone, there would be like bloop, 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 bloop at the top. And it was nothing but messages and comments from other veterans, veteran spouses, uh, military brats, you name it. Like anybody that had anything to do with veteran life was like supporting me, saying that they could use help, saying thank you for what you're doing, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like in 2021, like still kind of when we first got on, still kind of having like the COVID stuff going on and whatnot, still being in that kind of era, like people were really a lot more depressed and sheltered and closed in. And I think just seeing somebody going out and doing something like that and trying to like show them like, not only am I coming from a background of PTSD and addiction and TBI, but I'm also trying to show you that like even right now in the circumstances we're living in, get out there and still live. Like I think that kind of resonated with people too. And then after that, when we just kept on posting, right? Like started trying to think of new things like, oh, well, that worked. That resonated with people. What else can I do to try to help the veteran community? And then, dude, like I have so many comments out there, like videos where I'm responding to a comment and like I can't get through it without crying. Like there's one specifically I'll never forget, and I'm probably gonna get choked up talking about, but you know me, that's what happens. There's one that was talking about like I had cancer, and I started watching your videos. You helped me get stronger, and today I rang the bell, and I was just like dunzo, man. And that thing got like crazy amounts of views and comments, and then it started all over again. And then from there, it kind of turned into like the actually going out and connecting with other veterans and going to all these veteran events and stuff and really getting out there and doing things and not just being on a phone all the time and not just posting, but actually getting out there and connecting with people. And that just brought it to a whole other level. Like that was like,
Yeah.
there's something, I can't explain it, dude. It's like, it's God, it's whatever he innately put in us, that like connecting with other people, just like, if it doesn't fill your cup, I don't know what will. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
Yeah.
what will fulfill you if you're not helping others, and that doesn't help you in some way. At times it kind of feels selfish because I feel like sometimes I'm getting more out of it than others are because of how good I feel about doing it. But you can see it on people's faces. You can see it when you're connecting with them. Like, and I've had way too many moments that I can just like take and put away in my heart that all of this has created. So like
Yeah.
it was from the very beginning, man, from the very beginning. And then when it just kept on going, it's never felt wrong to keep doing it. It's always just built upon itself.
Yeah.
So
And so go ahead.
I was to say, you kind of touched on something. What allows you to be so emotional, like so vulnerable, when there's so many of us fellow vets that, our mom could die and it's just like, straight face, doesn't really break character, doesn't show emotion, but for you, it almost comes so easy. You know what I mean? Like, I know I know for me, like if I'm doing something that I'm truly passionate about and that I care about, it's a lot easier. But it's for me, I still struggle with that, like that emotional portion of it.
Uh, man, like for a long time I was that guy, right? A long time I was also numbing it with when I was an addict. Like I felt nothing when I was an addict, dude. And if I even started to, like, we're not gonna feel nothing. But honestly, dude, like you get to this point where you just have to have, and I've heard other people talk about it, and I honestly don't know any other way of explaining it or even putting it into words, is ego death.
Mhm.
Like just killing your like I truly feel like when we get to that point where we don't have, or we at least think that we don't have the ability to just let it out when we need to, it's a combination of like how we were raised, for a lack of better term, also raised in the military. Like one of the reasons I was an opiate addict was because an injury followed me for years that I refused to go get help with because I didn't want to be a sick bay commando or told I was a turd or, any of that kind of stuff. So, the way that we're raised in the military, that like you got to be a hard charger 24/7, 365, and twice on Sundays. Like, um, and then just like, I don't know, like I truly wanted to actually connect with people. And I felt like if I was this dude that was putting up a wall constantly and not just leading with my heart the way that this dog freaking taught me to, I, w- I wouldn't be able to do my mission, man. I wouldn't be able to do what I feel like God put me here to do. Like, I don't at all think that I went through all this crap that I went through in the past for nothing. I truly feel like it was one of those things where God just like set me on the path. He was like, you're going to go through all this crap, but once you get to the end of it, you're going to be able to help others with it. So you got to go through the valleys, right? And the peaks are coming, I promise. So that's where I kind of get it from. And then like after a while, it just became second nature. Like now, if I get choked up, I just let it come out. Like I'm not. Like, I'll tell you, I had a buddy, right? My buddy Mike Ross. He passed away. The little brother of the platoon. Dude was like, I don't know, 5'4", something like that. I'm only 5'6", so I'm not anything huge, but he was like the little brother of the platoon. Of course, I loved him because he was shorter than me. So, um, but he was kind of on the same path that I was after he got out. He got out after 4, fell into heroin and opiates, got clean for a while, and just like it happens with so many of us, when he relapsed, he tried to do, I'm assuming he tried to do as much as he did prior and ended up overdosing and passing. When we went to his funeral, I was literally the only one, maybe one other person. I was like the only one that was getting emotional and crying. All the other guys, all my other brothers that were there were like, and you could tell that they were feeling it, but they weren't allowing
Showing it.
themselves to completely feel all of it. And I'll never forget the way some of them looked at me when I like went up to his casket and put my hand on his casket and took a knee and just like let it all out and then stood up and saluted it and walked off. And they were just like, I had this moment with some of my brothers where they're like, I appreciate you for doing that, man, because I don't think I could. And then it just kept on coming, man. Like it just kept on being that way for me. Like now, and what I mean with the ego death is like I've done so many videos, right? On TikTok, Instagram, whatever, where I just let it out. If it's one of those types of moments, I just let it out. Like recently on New Year's Day, when I had that girl at the DMV tell me that she's going to pray for me. And I was going through a lot of crap at that time. Like I was unemployed, I just lost my job, I had a bad 2 weeks. And when she said it to me, it was like insta. And I recorded it in the moment. Like I try to do anything where I know it's going to connect with people, put it out there. And whenever you have any type of video that gets any types of real traction and views out there, it's a double-edged sword because you get the people that are like truly feeling it, like, oh, I'm praying for you too. God is good, all that kind of stuff. Like, thank you so much for what you're doing. And then you get the other guys that are like, look at this bitch.
Yeah.
Look at this,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. But you know
I was
what I
about to
always had
say
to
you get
say?
a lot of haters for that stuff too, don't
Yeah,
you?
exactly, exactly. It's always a double-edged sword. You always get those groups. And I used to care about that, right? When I first got on and I'd show an emotional video and I'd have like 1,000 great comments and then that one negative would just like put me down all day. But now it's just like I've gotten to this point where it's just like we're all gonna die someday, right? Like we're all gonna have to stand in front of the man. So do I really want to stand in front of that man saying that I treated every person that I was around like shit my whole life? I don't think so. I think I want to treat people with kindness, lead with my heart, take care of them, and just be the best person I can be. And that comes with being genuine. And I feel like if I'm not showing my emotion, I'm not being genuine. So and the other little thing I always like to say is any guy that's ever made fun of me or any vet bro has never put on the gloves. So
Yeah.
you know, you can talk a lot of shit from behind a computer.
Keyboard warriors are
That
everywhere.
is so true. Oh my gosh.
I just think
So
they're scared to get knocked out by a guy that's 5'6". So,
I mean, I hate to say it, like I'm 6 foot, so yeah, I would be
it'd
pretty
be
embarrassed.
embarrassing, right?
It would be. And I'm pretty sure, like I'm 100% sure Mike could whoop my ass, but that's because like I'm 260 pounds of fluff.
Dad bod.
Love.
Straight dad bod. But so you have a very unique relationship with a couple of creators though. Amrock, Scrappy. Like it was like an instant brotherhood. You guys did a meetup back in February.
Yep.
February or March. And then you guys just it's like an instant brotherhood. Like it was like you guys went to war together, you guys freaking were there with each other, you had all your little and it was just instant and it's organic. I mean, we know each other from TikTok. Like I met you at Sam's event. We know each other from TikTok, and it's kind of crazy how TikTok and some of these other social media platforms have brought veterans together who never served together in a combat zone. But when we get together, it's like, fuck, man. I hate that this is over. I hate that I have to go home
Yep.
because I love you guys, right?
Yeah.
And I can say that because when I met you, it was instant. Like, it was instant brotherhood. I mean, it was an instant thing. It was like connect. So, like, is it like that a lot? Because I know you do a lot of work with Till Valhalla, and you do a lot of things where you meet a lot of people, but with like people that are, straight TikTok creators, how is it just like that? Like how with Amrock and Scrappy? Because y'all's story, y'all's video together was awesome. It's like you guys were just like, oh man, I hadn't seen you in forever.
The bromance is real.
The
Well, I will
bromance is
say-
for real.
I will say that Amarok I've known for quite some time now. I've probably known him for like the better part of since the beginning. Like he was one of the first guys when Cooper and I first got on TikTok that I saw and looked up to. And you know when you first get on TikTok and you almost get like this fangirly type way when somebody who has crazy amounts of followers reaches out to you or talks back to you. Like I'll never forget when
That's how I
Corey-
feel about you.
I'll never forget like when Amarok hit me up for the first time and I was like, this is Amarok, oh my god. Oh my god. And like same thing with like Corey Schaffer, the founder and CEO of Till Valhalla Project. Like I'll never forget the first time he messaged me like from the Till Valhalla Project profile. And I was like, wait, hold on. It might not be verified. They don't have the blue check, but that is legit the Till Valhalla Project freaking oh my god, like just losing it, man. Like you get like this fangirl type thing, right? So Amarok was one of the first dudes that ever reached out to me. I can't remember how we like first conversated, but like we talked and whatnot, man. I went down to Florida in 2020. Look at that right here. Hold on. 2023,
It's like,
right?
hold on. My wall of fame.
2023. I went and had a meetup at a Mission Barbecue that was like, I think Jacksonville, because I went down for the Till Valhalla Project annual memorial plaque build that they do every year. And I just put out on TikTok and stuff like, hey, if anybody wants to just hang out and have lunch one day at Mission Barbecue, because I love that place and there's no one around me here in South Carolina. Well, at the time I was living up north and there was one that was like an hour away, but still, I was like, I love it here. And if anybody wants to meet up for lunch, just come. He came to that. We kicked it. I was like, I freaking love this dude. And then I saw him again when I spoke at the Vet Life for Life event in Myrtle Beach a couple years ago. And we've just always stayed connected, man. Like just the way that me and that dude like speak to each other, and like the way that we just, it's so weird. Like he made this video not long ago where it was like he's playing both characters, but one is
Mhm.
him and one has a helmet on, and they have like a bow and arrow, and they're like going to war together. And I was like, bro, I texted him as soon as I saw that, and I was like, I hope you know I'd bleed for you, brother. Like, I would totally be that dude in that video with you. He was like, well, you want to know something? When I shot it, I totally felt like you were the dude in the helmet the whole time I was shooting it. And I was like, freaking love you, man. Like,
Aw.
like, dude, I can't explain it, man. You just have those genuine connections like that. And then Scrappy just popped up when I saw his video where he was reaching out for help initially, right? He was reaching out for that help to try to get help for him and his kids and the repairs on his house. And I reached out to him just randomly, like on TikTok, and then people started blowing me up in the comment section, like tagging me. And then I guess that caught his eye that, hey, this dude must be a veteran creator too. Let me see what he's about. And then he messaged me, and then we got on a phone call together, and we spent like 2 hours on the phone. And then I was just like randomly like, hey, do you know Amarok? And he was like, Amarok? That's my brother. Like, we're in the same motorcycle club, blah, blah, blah. I was like, wait, what? And then he just pulls up a FaceTime, and then you got all three of us like on the FaceTime screen together, and we probably spent like an hour on FaceTime together that day. And I was like, okay, we totally need to meet up. And Scrappy's like, you guys realize that God is the one that's doing all this, right? And I was like, 100%. And then like we went and met up, and it was just like same thing with Scrappy. Like, I'd freaking die for you, bro. I don't have to have served with you. I do not care. I could freaking die for you. I don't care. Like, and it was just, you just feel it, man. You just, when you meet
Right.
dudes like that, you just feel like you can't explain it. I don't know what it is. You can't, like, because then you also meet the other kind sometimes that are the vet bros that don't seem to like you too much. And you have to kind of get through those layers of the onion. And finally, when you get to the gooey center, they kind of realize you are who you say you are and who you put yourself out to be. But then there's the dudes like you and Amarok and Scrappy where it's just like insta bro. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you say like your whole Amrock story. So I'm probating for the U.S. Military Vets Motorcycle Club, and I've never met Amrock, but I just happened to be like one night laying in bed, can't sleep, doom scrolling, and I come across Amrock's video, and I'm like, "Yo, that guy's wearing the same cut as the brothers in my chapter are wearing." Hold on, let me. I friended him and I sent him a message. I was like, "Hey, because at the time I'm a probate, so we have this like whole greeting we have to give him. So I'm like, hey, patch holder, this is probate so and so with Georgia 1 chapter out of Atlanta. I can't
looking
wait to
Amrock.
meet you.
This is bitch boy stalls. No, I'm just kidding.
look, Brock, it's Stalls. No, but
Look at me.
but I messaged him, and dude, it was like the very next day he messaged me back, and he was like, "Hey, dude, I can't wait to meet you. I'm actually coming to your chapter. Like, I'm moving to your area, and I'm going to be part of the Georgia 1 chapter." And I was like, "Oh, like that whole fangirl type situation."
Oh yeah.
And Amrock is just as genuine as a person as he can possibly be. Like, just every kind of veteran that you want to meet, like the kind of veteran you want to meet and you want to hang out with and share a freaking drink with or share food with, and you know share stories and talk about your faith with, like Amrock is that guy. And then I
Oh
met
yeah.
Scrappy, and then it just all happened. Like, we're all in the same motorcycle club, we're all on TikTok, and then I meet you, and then I was like, oh man, Mike.
No, I
It's
love it, man. Yeah, it's just so cool how like, I don't know, you get on this thing, right? That you're not sure really what your impact's going to be or how it's going to serve you or serve others to be on it. And it's like, it's social media, right? So there's so many people out there that are doing it just to do it, and just to try to go viral or get TikTok famous or whatever you want to call it.
Clout chasing.
I'll tell you, having 400,000 followers almost has done nothing for my wallet thus far. Now, if I ever get into like actually doing ads again or something and something like that to try to help my pocketbook out, because I'll tell you, being unemployed for 4 months was a bash. and being behind on everything sucks. So, but I mean, you got all these people out here that, you know, present themselves a certain way. Um, and you can just tell sometimes when you meet them that it's just not, it's an act, or they'll play a character on
They're
their
not authentic.
social media. Yeah. And then, but
Mhm.
then there's the people that you meet like Amarok, like Scrappy, like yourself, like clearly Josh, uh, that's just like, yeah, okay, that's definitely the same person that I see every
Right.
time that they pop up on my little square in my hand.
I guess I'm
And
gonna have to catch up because the only person I've met is Dr. James, which that in itself is a pretty wild story. That probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't. I don't know what it was, but so Dr. James is my best friend's uncle.
what the hell? That's God, dude. That's freaking God.
Net,
I don't care what you have to say.
I
That's God.
Yeah,
Like
in
all these little
absolutely.
connections and interactions, it's freaking
it's
God, dude.
it's wild, right? Because I'd interacted with Dr. James here on TikTok. You know, we're in the same lives. We bullshit back and forth, and so my best friend's stationed in DC or just outside of DC, right? And they went to dinner, and my best friend, I was asleep, texted me, said, "Hey, give me a call." So I call him. They're out to dinner. He hangs up the phone. We briefly talked about the podcast, and Dr. James is like, he's a Marine and he does a podcast. He's like, I only know two. And he's like, is it the Unapologetic Veterans Podcast? And my best friend's like, you know it? And then he's like, is his name Josh? And he's like, yes. And come full circle, I was going to DC that weekend to run the Marine Corps Historic Half Marathon. Well,
Badass.
Dr. James and his wife were in Southern Virginia that same weekend. So me and my best friend ran down there and spent all day with them. And then to make the story even crazier, I met Dr. James's wife before they were married. I've technically known his wife longer than he has.
That's crazy, dude. That's
Oh yeah.
there's always crazy little connections, man, that you'll come across. It's just
Yeah,
wild.
but like you said, it's fate. I mean, there's a higher power at work here that's bringing this community that we've built. People before me built it, but I'm just now a part of it. But you know, that are bringing us together. And you know, I know that you linked up with the mom of the whole community, Lita,
Yep.
and you actually like started your own mission, so to say. And how's that going?
To be honest, I've kind of Lita had a loss in her life recently. Um,
Right.
so, I do not get on or push anybody. That I love that girl with all my heart. She's my sister. Um, Ironically though, she likes it better when I call her my brother. Uh, there's something about that pride of being one of the guys that many of our female sister veterans have. So I don't mind calling her my brother. I'll do whatever she wants. I'm scared of her. So, um,
We're all scared of her.
and she's always telling me to do leg day because her and my fiance Caitlin like to tell me that I have twig legs. So, um, but
How's that working out for you?
hey man, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the upper body definitely looks a lot more stacked than the lower body. I'll put it that way. Uh, but but yeah, man. So she was actually the catalyst behind that. Like I had zero to do with that, bro. Zero. She has been pushing me for the longest, and it's funny because I have all these people in my life, right? That like Corey from Till Valhalla Project has been telling me since day one of me meeting him, going down to Florida, and him gifting me that Soldier's Cross statue, um, randomly when I got there. Like he's been telling me since the first time meeting him, bro, you need to start something of your own. I don't even care if you want to do plaques like TVP does and sell your apparel to fund plaques because I wish more people were doing it and we weren't the only ones giving out memorial plaques to families of fallen heroes. Like do whatever you want. And then I always feel like, well, if I did that, everybody would call me a TVP ripoff. So I can't do that. And then like you get in your head about it. And then the other thing is you see all these people out here that like start something and then it just flops on its face or it turns into something just completely left field of what they never intended and people just tear it apart, and it's just like, or they get into the thing where they take all the money and do something themselves and ends up being a scam from Jump Street, and everybody's like, see, that's why we don't spend our money with so and so, and we just stick with the, and all that. And at this point too, being the face, that's the funny thing is, like, think about Tova Hollow Project. I had this conversation with a veteran buddy recently that runs an organization, and he was kind of thinking about, like, how can I do this better, whatever. I was like, think about Tova Hollow Project, wearing it right now. Look at how big they are. How many followers do you think Corey Schaffer has on his profiles?
I mean, I
He's
would
got like
I don't
probably.
have a clue.
he's got like 2,000 on TikTok, and like I think like a couple thousand, something like that, on Instagram. Nobody knows who this dude is. He's a ghost. And look how good his brand does, because he's not out in front of it. He's not trying to push himself out there and be this big name and be like the head of it and be like the face of it. It's when
Right.
people are out in front of it like that, that when people have a problem with the person, they don't support the mission. And I feel like I'm so out there already that if I try to start anything, I'm gonna have to do it behind the scenes, and it's gonna have to be like not me in front of it. But like, that was all Lita though. What you're talking about? Like, she reached out to me one day and was like, "Look, you've been around long enough. People love you. People trust you. You do things for the right reasons. Coop and Mike needs to grow." And I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, Leah, so what do you have in mind?" And she was like, "I'm gonna make you apparel. I'm gonna make you an apparel line, and we're gonna put it out there, and that's gonna be, because we go, Cooper and I, doing the Tilva Hollow Project stuff. Actually, what we got that gifted for was how many plaques we've delivered. Um, so we go out and we do the plaque deliveries. For anybody that doesn't know who Tilva Hollow Project is, they are a organization that is based out of St. Augustine, Florida. Corey Schaffer, their founder, started it, I think, in 2017 out of his garage. He made a plaque for his best friend who took his own life, Marine Corps Corporal, I believe, Corporal Dunstan, I think his name was. Corey made him a plaque, made his family a memorial plaque for him. And then he said to himself, if I'm going to make one for him, if I'm going to honor one, I got to honor them all. And then he started making the plaques. And then he figured out, okay, well, if I'm going to make these plaques, I'm going to make sure that every family gets them for free and they'll never have to pay for them. Then I have to do something to fund it. So then that's what the apparel came from, because he always puts out there the plaques came first and the apparel came second. So then he started printing the shirts, and then just grew and grew and grew. And now they're like a multi-million-dollar company. I think they just crossed like 4,200 plaques delivered, 4,200 fallen
Wow.
heroes out throughout the
Wow.
country have been honored. And it's crazy. So they have what's called legacy guardians all around the country. You can volunteer, sign an actual contract of like how to do it, what to do, all the proper stuff they want you to do. Um, and if you have a fallen hero in your area that's going to be getting a plaque after somebody puts in an application for one, they'll reach out to you and say, can you do it? And 9 times out of 10 everybody says yes, and then they send you the plaque and a legacy guardian t-shirt. You wear the t-shirt, you go to the home, and it's kind of up to the family whether they invite you in and talk to you, or if you just render your salute and leave it at the door. I always try to connect with the families, but yeah, it's been crazy to do something like that. So basically what Lita was trying to help me with was the cost of drive. Like, I have one right now I have to go take to Tennessee. It's a 7-hour drive one way.
What part
So
of Tennessee?
it starts with an S. I can't remember offhand.
Smyrna?
No, I'd probably know it if I heard it.
Springfield?
I can look it up after the podcast and let you know.
Yeah, I live in Tennessee. That's why I asked.
Okay. Yeah. So, but this is the crazy thing, is that somebody, because this has happened a lot since people have found out that we do it, and I think it's one of the reasons why Lita offered to do that and help me, is because people literally reach out to Tilva Hollow Project and request us now. Like, they literally do the applications, and so when you go on their website down at the bottom, I think it's like under a tab called Our Mission, it says plaque application. It's basically a jot form, and you have to put in all the information about whoever the fallen hero is, all the next of kin information, where it's going, who it's going to. And there's sometimes people put in these applications, right? And the family doesn't even know we're coming. Like, it's somebody that's a friend of the family or a family member that doesn't tell the recipient or the parent or the widow that it's coming. And I'll reach out to them and they'll be like, who are you? And why are you trying to find out when I'm going to be home? Like, and I have to be like, well, I have something very special for you. You will see what I always try to keep it a secret. They always figure it out by the time I'm there, like, or even before I get there, I should say, because they go and look at my social media. Because I always try to, be like, you can find me on social media here, so I'm a real person. I'm not some
I'm not
scammer
some
trying to
weirdo.
just show up to your house. But yeah, it's been crazy doing that, because it's just like now people have gotten to the point where they are going down to the bottom of the jot form, and there's a spot there for special requests, and there's people putting in like, please have Coop and Mike deliver it, and they'll
Wow.
reach out to me and be like, do you want to do it? I recently had one where they were trying to get me to go to Missouri, and I was like, I wish I could, like, but I can't. I can't afford a plane ticket to go out there right now. So,
Right.
but yeah, this one to Tennessee is pretty far. But we recently did. I had my buddy Brandon go with me when we went to Wilmington, North Carolina, and delivered one recently of a fallen Marine that passed of cancer when he was only 23 years old. So that was it. I'll put it this way: it was shocking, but it was also sadly surprising for it to not, because so many that I deliver are 22s, man. And that is another reason that I constantly feel like I have to keep doing what I'm doing, because every time I get one of these things that says so and so lost their battle with the demons, so and so lost the war within, and it's just like, dude, like, if you don't think there's a problem, become a Till Valhalla Project Memorial or a Till Valhalla Project monthly elite member. They send out a newsletter, and go through the newsletter and read the stories. There's every other page is lost battle with demons, lost war within, lost battle with demons, lost war within, like the whole thing. And it's so freaking sad,
Wow.
dude.
How did you
Yeah.
get into that?
Corey just, I think people can actually go on their website and apply to be a legacy guardian. But for myself, Corey, when he reached out to me on TikTok and whatnot, he actually offered it to me, the first one. He was
Okay.
like, look, dude, I love what you're doing, because I wore Till Valhalla Project stuff in all of our videos since like the end of 2021 when I first discovered them. I think we got on in like February 2021 or March, something like that. And then by the end of that year, I had discovered them like around summertime of 2021. And then that's all I was wearing. And it's all I wear to this day. Like, my closet looks ridiculous. I have a problem. Like, so he reached out and was like, I appreciated you wearing stuff, our stuff in all your videos and everything. And, not trying to do it for money or anything, like reaching out to us. Like, you just do it to do it. And I was like, yeah, dude, I love what you guys are doing. And he was like, I'd be super honored if you go deliver a plaque. I'm going to send you one. There's one in your area that needs to be delivered. And dude, when I delivered that first one, it was like, when I tell you that, and my buddy Brandon can attest to this from the one we just did, it literally feels like honor is an emotion. Like, you literally feel honor coursing through your veins like it's freaking blood itself. I cannot explain it. Another thing I can't explain. Like, when you go meet these families and you sit down with them, there was one family where they never answered my texts and calls and whatnot, and I ended up having to be forced to leave it on the doorstep, which I hated doing, but Till Valhalla Project tells you to do it that way. So left it on doorstep, rendered my salute, rolled out. But all the other ones, I've been invited inside, sat with the family for an hour or two, talking, crying, the whole nine. And still have all their phone numbers and still checking in on them annually. Like, all of them are like, you're now a part of the family. Like, you ever need anything? Of course, I'm not going to ask them for anything, but I'm always going to check in on them. So it's been like a really huge part of our journey thus far in my life, for sure, and the whole story.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
amazing.
know I saw the video for the one you did recently with Brandon.
Yeah.
And it was very emotional. Very
yeah.
emotional. And that is just awesome, dude. I'd love to get our club, especially some of the chapters down here in Florida, involved. Doing something like that, having veterans hand deliver a plaque to a family of a fallen hero, and all of us show up on a motorcycle to honor that person. All veterans all showing up to honor that person. I think that would be freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you do all this with Till Valhalla Project. You're very close with the owner of Till Valhalla, but recently I was doom scrolling on TikTok. I'm always doom scrolling. It's
dude.
like,
I'm noticing a problem here, Stalls.
right. So I'm doom scrolling on TikTok, Not while I'm at my actual job, just in case my boss is listening. And I come across a video and I'm like, wait a minute, dude, that's Mike. That's Coop. I know Coop. I don't know
Yep.
if that's Mike, but that's Coop. And I was like, actually, I said, that's Mike from the backside. I know.
Yeah. Straight Dumb and Dumber moment. He must work out.
Right. He must. But so I'm watching the video, and it's the video where you set down the Till Valhalla, bracelet
Yep.
down, and then you walk away. And I'm like, wait a minute. But this isn't Mike's account posting this video, and it's not Till Valhalla posting this video. Who is it? So immediately I
Went down the
couldn't
rabbit hole.
download. I couldn't download. I couldn't
Yep, nope.
screenshot it. So I had to screen record my phone to send the video to Mike. And I was like, Mike, bro, somebody's using your content, or somebody's using somebody's content. So this has been going on for a while, though. Apparently,
Yeah, it's been going on for months, dude. So it is like, and like the level and just robust nature of this scam operation is insanity, man. And the fact that they picked out TVP to be the one to fall prey to them just drives me up a freaking wall, even more so than me being in half the freaking videos they're using, because I have seen 7 of my own videos now used by these people. So basically what it is this place called and I'm just gonna say this so that people know what to look for. Like some people will say, like, I'm not even gonna put their name out there. I feel like I have to, so people know what to look for. If you see something, especially on TikTok, I've seen them on Facebook as well. I just got a message today from somebody saying, "Isn't this you?" And it was a Facebook ad of them doing the same thing. It's called either United with Us or Be United with Us, and it is some freaking scammers out there. I do not know how they're doing it. They are literally ripping all of Till Valhalla Project's content, all of my ads that I've done in the past for Till Valhalla Project, all of this other dude's ads that was recently doing for Till Valhalla Project. You can't miss when the dude has like a rat rod in all of his videos. Lives up in the mountains in, I think, Oregon or Utah somewhere. Another buddy of the company doing it for Corey and their marketing guy Cody. And they're literally like making it so, like you said, you can't download the video, you can't get to the link, and they're doing that intentionally so that TVP can't link it back to the original video to show TikTok, hey, this is a scam. So basically what they're doing is they're literally selling all, and that's why I'm saying it's so like robust of an operation, because you can order from them, right? They're going to send you a shirt that is the exact same design as Till Valhalla Project, exact same screen printing, but it's going to be on a subpar Chinese piece of crap shirt. It's not going to be on the next level shirts that Till Valhalla Project uses that are like the top tier t-shirts you can get to print on. And they're going to be all wonky and jacked up. Their bands I've seen are not laser cut like those are at TVP. Like they're all jacked up. Like somehow they are duplicating all of what TVP is doing and sending it out. I talked to Corey the other night, and he told me that he ordered one and he was able to track down the guy who sold them their business license. And he said, "Don't worry, we're taking action." But he also said that they're looking at the ports now because it seems like the actual products are coming from China. So they're printed in China. They're somehow printing TVP's stuff in China and then shipping it over here. And then somebody over here is helping them disperse it and do the
Wow.
scam game. It is like it's like FBI crap, man. It's nuts.
That's wild.
So Corey was like, "Hey man, just get in touch. There's a lady named Sandra that works for TVP, and she has had me send her like because the one thing you can do is click on the shop now, and that'll take you to their store, and then you can take that link. So that's what she asked me to send her, was the links to any of those store ads that it takes you to, and just send them to her. So I've been doing that, and apparently TVP is also in the process of like getting one of those companies that's kind of like a LifeLock but for businesses, to get them shut down as well. But it is like a whole big convoluted thing. They're all over everything. It drives me nuts because they're like every 7th to 8th scroll for me now on TikTok. Like I see
Yeah.
it constantly all day, and I'm just like, you mother. Like what drives me the most nuts is not just that it's my content being used. At the end of the day, they are literally stealing funds that are going not only to plaques for the families of fallen heroes to honor them, but if you ever go to like TVP's Instagram account, especially, or Facebook, you will see whenever they put out, like, they will do the pictures with like the big promotional size checks, like the things you'd see at like a golf tournament, of like the crazy money that they give out to like Stop Soldier Suicide, Mission 22, 22 Mohawks, like all of these big organizations on the front lines to try to help end 22 a day. Like they've given out over $1 million to these nonprofits out there on the front lines. They're taking that money away too. So the way that I see it in a roundabout way is they're helping to kill my brothers. Heaven help these people if I ever find them, dude. They're gonna see
Right.
5'6" of fury. Like, is I cannot tell you how much it drives me nuts. And like, thank you to everybody. Like, if there's anybody watching this right now or that ends up listening to this that is on social media, like for instance, Lita's better half, Cynical. He literally just put out a video yesterday about it, and I emailed him or I messaged him this morning when I woke up. I was like, bro, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for putting this out there because you have a big following. You know, people watch your stuff like crazy. Thank you, man, for getting eyes on this. Because it is just, it's sickening, bro, what people do out there. It's nuts. And to see it's like this big of an operation is just crazy to me. So yeah, dude, it just, I can't
Yeah, it
believe
was
there's people
wild.
out there
Like
doing
when I
crap like
came
that.
across it, I was like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, that's Mike. That's Coop.
Yeah, dude.
that's
And the
not
other
their
thing I can't
account.
stand is
That's
like
not TVP.
and that's the other thing that's been bad about it too, is there's people actually getting got by this, you know, going into it thinking it's TVP, ordering from it, getting the crappy crap or not getting anything at all in some cases, and then reaching out to TVP and being like WTF and expect them to pick up the losses of
Mhm.
scammers that are. So that's why, like in the videos I've done on them, I've tried to show the difference between here's the Till Valhalla Project logo, here's this stupid little saluting logo crap that these guys are using as their little, you know, thumbnail picture. Not the same. If you're going to get something from TVP, go to tillvalhallaproject.com. Do not go to a place that says united with us or be united with us, because
I report every
ain't
one of
it.
their videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you put Coop to bed, which is sad.
He cuddles his mommy. I can't help it.
Everybody wanted to see Coop. So
I'm sorry.
we're upset.
Sad pandas. Sad pandas, everybody.
Hold on.
But are you gonna
There you
show us
go.
a
There's
picture?
a picture of Coop from earlier this evening with his little brother Coda.
Oh,
Hey, everybody,
it up.
this
sounds
is what we
about
get.
right.
My
Sounds
bad.
about right.
He cuddles his mommy, man. I'm telling you, well, no, I take that back. I work from home. So as soon as she gets home, I get traded in.
I see.
It's cool though.
Well,
It's
When I
fair.
fell in love with her, he fell in love with her. So not much I can do
It's
about
fair.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
So
are you good?
I think I swallowed a bug. One thing I want to ask, so everything that you've gone through, everything that you've experienced through the tail end of your service and the relapse and to where you're at now and what you've got going now, not only for yourself and your brand, but for this community truly. What is it that fuels your fire every day? And if you had to give some advice to somebody that may be in or trying to get through what you've gone through as far as the addiction portion of it, leaving the military, because leaving the military is never easy. No matter the situation, I don't care who you are, it's not easy. And then not only that, but being in addiction just makes it even worse. What advice would you give somebody that could possibly be in those shoes?
Honestly, man, I feel like anytime I get this question, I feel like anything I say, literally anything I say, nobody is going to truly feel the impact of until they're on the other side. Because I remember being that dude, right? I remember being that dude who was literally getting, every time I went to this jacked up doctor that took me way up in the meds down in North Carolina, literally had me on 3 oxycodone 30s a day, 1 oxycontin 40, and 1 oxycontin 80 at night. I was a literal walking zombie, and then I got to a point where I was running out of a month worth of script of that within 2 weeks, and then buying everything else off the streets and putting myself in compromising situations, and just making sure. It even got to a point at one point where like I wasn't even getting high anymore. I was just staying unsick, right? Like I wasn't getting dope sick. I wasn't getting opiate withdrawals. I was literally just doing what I had to stay good. Um, and I know how I felt back then, right? People could have talked to me till I was blue in the face, or till they were blue in the face, and I've been like, "All right, cool, but can I still get those pills?" Like, I literally was not able to. Nobody could get through to me. It literally had to be, and I guess maybe that's a part of the advice, right? You literally have to. I try to do it for my family, right? I tried to do it for my ex significant others. I tried to do it for, my parents. I tried to do it for my grandmother, God rest her soul. I tried, and every time it didn't work. I just kept on going right back to it. But the one day that I truly had that come to Jesus with myself in the mirror and was like, look, dude, if you don't change this up, if you don't do something, you are going to either die or be in jail where you're going to wish you were dead. So if you're not really going to take your own life, if you're going to stick this crap out and we're going to see what else is on the other side of all this, then something has to change. And literally, that's the day that I went and got help. Right. And we are literally coming up on 10 days. 10 days will be, well, it's 2017. What's that? 8 years? 7 years? I can't do math. 8 years? Yeah, 8 years.
Yeah, years.
So, yeah, in 10 days, it'll be 8 years because that was June 15th of 2017. So, like, I feel, and the thing that I try to express to people all the time, too, is like, dude, cliches are out there for a freaking reason, right, man? Like, they're a cliche for a reason because 99.99999% of them are all so friggin' damn true that by the time you see how true they are, you start chuckling to yourself when you hear them because you're like, yeah, that's funny because it's true. No wonder why it was a damn cliche my whole time growing up. And one of those biggest cliches that I try to push people with is like, if you're not here, you will never know what could have been. Like, if somebody would have gone back and told Mike Howard of June, June 14th of 2017, the day before I got clean, that, hey, bro, check it out. In 8 years, well, even less than that, whatever it was, we're going to be together 3 years now. So, like, in 5 years, you're going to have an awesome freaking dog that's going to pull you out of the dark. You're going to be having a social media presence that helps other people also stay out of the dark and start finding their own paths in life and trying to fight for another day every day. You're going to meet the woman of your freaking dreams that like brings it all together and is going to love you like nobody's ever loved you before. I would have been like, are you the high one or am I? Like, are you joking right now? I thought I was the one snorting pills. Are you seriously? Like, so and it's crazy, man, because like literally I had that mindset. I had the mindset every one of my relationships before this one was completely toxic, and I had a responsibility in some of that, maybe not all of it, but definitely in some of it. Um, Anything I tried to do just failed miserably. Like my whole life was in shambles at one point, like right before I got sober. Um, I was working a crap job, living at my grandmother's house, freaking divorced, like all the things, right? And I was like, what literally do I have to live for, man? Besides hope for tomorrow. And I feel like that's what I try to push home with my content is if I can give somebody just hope for one more day. Just hope, dude. Just freaking hope that like if I just keep going, who knows what could be over there? Like, because you don't know, right? Like, that's why I just did a video today about my fiance Caitlin, where it's like you gotta scroll through the photos, and it's like,
It was
don't ever
cute.
don't ever tell me this is just an app, because the girl that I never would have freaking approached in person, because I'm telling you damn well right now, if this social media thing would have been like a bar, I never would have shot my shot. Never. I would have saw her across the bar and be like, sweet Lord. Nope. And like just walk the other way.
I'll
Like,
take
I'd
another
have been
beer.
like, nope,
All right,
I'll
guys,
take
are you good?
I
I'm good.
I will take the L now without even the approach beforehand. Like, not gonna happen. But because it was social media, right? I was like, let me just try this out here. And then somehow, hey, we're here now. We own a home together. We're engaged. Like, we're gonna get married. Like, This is the one I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And it's so much different than every other one because I'm healthy now. And it's like, that's the hope that I try to give to people. That's the reason why I post our relationship. I post things like that because I know there's dudes out there just like me, just like I used to be, where I was like, I'm a broken, pissed off, emotionless, heartless, never going to find love, never going to be happy veteran. What do I have to live for? Like, I used to be that dude. But through all of these little fights and battles that I've had to go through on this journey, somehow I'm here. The dude who might not be rich, but I'm rich where it freaking counts now, dude. Like, I'm with an amazing person. I have a dog that is my freaking backbone and has helped me out through so many things. I have a decent job again. I have a beautiful home, something I never could have said prior. I own it at that. Like, and I'm helping people, right? Like, I get the messages, and that's one thing that I always talk about too. Anytime I get interviewed, and I'm in a podcast, anytime somebody asks me, like, what's like a major takeaway for you? Like, I always try to drive home the fact that you see these big celebrities out there, right? And I always like to bring up Jelly Roll because I feel like he's probably one of the most genuine guys out there that is that big, right? And
Absolutely.
you see them get these interviews where they're like, so how does it feel to be here now? You've been doing, this kind of stuff for years, but now you got the fame, you got the fortune, you got this, you got that. What do they always say when they're legit genuine? I don't care about the money. I don't care about the fame. In fact, I was probably happier when I was broke. Now I have more money and more problems. All I care about is that on an almost daily basis, I have somebody that tells me something I did or something I put out into the world helped save their life. I've been getting those messages since 2021. I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
Like, I don't need the fame. I don't need to. Would it be nice to have some chat? Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be
Right.
damn nice, but I don't need it to feel fulfilled in what I'm doing. Like, the messages that I get every single day, because they do come every single day on at least one of the platforms, where it's like either a comment or a DM. Bro, thank you so much for this, bro. Like last night, I was sitting in my garage with a gun, and then your video came across. I'm still here today.
Yeah.
What else do I need, man? Like, it's
Yeah.
like
So
that's like
when I saw your video today, I was like, you know what? He's 100% correct. Like, so my wife and I, we met on TikTok.
yeah. I remember you telling me that.
And so for me, it was like I connected with somebody because I took a shot that if I had seen her in person, just like you, I would have never taken.
Yep.
And for those of you who have ever been in my lives on TikTok, you'll know I show my wife's picture a lot. She is hot. And I don't deserve her. I am definitely the ugly duckling in the relationship. But
Yep.
if I had seen her in person out in public, I would have never approached her. But because we were friends on TikTok and it just happened, like we were just in the same town at the same, time. She was out of a relationship, I was out of a relationship, and I was like, "Hey, you want to meet up for dinner one night?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure. What I got to lose?" I was like, "Well, shit, that was easy. Now what do I
Yep.
do?"
The hard part's over.
Right, exactly. So, when I saw your TikTok and I've followed your story a lot with you and Caitlin, and you tell everybody, I don't deserve her.
Yep.
And that's how I feel about my wife. I don't deserve her. She
I mean,
puts
I
up
could
with
say
all of my shit.
I could say the same
So,
thing. Yeah, I don't deserve my wife. She's stuck with me through all my bullshit for it's 2025, almost 10 years. So yeah, I mean, I don't, but I'm extremely grateful. I'd probably be on the other side if it wasn't for her some days,
Oh yeah,
but
man.
yeah.
And to touch on that a little bit, I think that also helps, right? You have someone that you can, like if she's asleep, you look over and it's like,
Oh,
I'm
bro,
not,
I tell you, man, the
I'm not
best
doing
feeling
half
in the
bad.
world. Yeah, exactly. The best feeling in the world, right? think it was 2 years ago now. I was like up at one night. I had this really weird like gas feeling pain in my stomach, and I knew something was very wrong when it started like moving to my back and then moving back to my stomach and then moving to my back. It was the weirdest, most intense pain I've ever felt. I was literally a couple hours later, fast forward, I was the dude in the ER screaming my head off, like back in my room that the nurses were trying to ignore, like because I was back there like literally screaming, crying. Caitlin didn't know. She was in bed. Like I told her, I just went into the room real quick and was like, "Hey, babe, I think we're gonna go to the ER. I just don't really feel good." Then by the time she knew what was going on, she came up there and was sitting with me. They like had to do everything to just try to get me to calm down. It ended up being that I had like some gigantic stones stuck in like whatever that little thing is, and like connecting your gallbladder to whatever that little. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. It was basically I had to get my gallbladder out and get these stones removed, right? But to hear my dad say, right, this is the first time you've ever been with anybody where I feel okay leaving this world, because I just saw how that woman took care of you while you were there. She was like checking in with my dad, telling him how I was doing, sitting by my side, took off of work, was at the hospital the whole time, like telling him the play by play because he's up in Delaware. We're down here in South Carolina. And to come out of surgery and then have my dad on the phone crying, like, you don't know how good it feels to know that when I leave this world, I know somebody's got your back, because I felt for a long time like I was the only one that did.
Yeah.
So that was good shit.
Absolutely.
I kind of catch myself every once in a while because my wife, she goes to sleep at 7 o'clock, and yes, that's 7 o'clock p.m. She goes to
Yep.
sleep. Okay, so
What?
yeah, she requires 12 to 14 hours of sleep to function. I mean,
Yep.
it works for her. It doesn't work for me. But every once in a while, like I'll come to bed like 11 o'clock midnight, and I'll lay there and like I know it sounds really creepy, but I will literally sit there and just stare at her and go, like, what did I ever do? What did I ever do to deserve to be able to even share a home with this person, let alone
Yep.
share a bed with this person? Um, and that's what has made my mental health journey just so much easier, is having that person who understands that, you know, a simple task like finding the right screwdriver for a project may send me over the edge because I can't find it. And I knew
Yep.
that I just fucking had it in my hand.
Look, you're getting mad
She
about it
kn-
right now.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
But
laughing because I've heard this play out on the phone with him,
I
like
bet you
in
have.
real
See how
time.
mad he just got? That took like 3
Oh.
seconds. He was already going there.
but like it's like you just had it in your hand and you're like, damn dude, where did I set it? And then you're searching, but you're doing like a man search, so you're like picking up a empty Diet Coke can, like, well, the screwdriver's not there, I can't find it.
Oh,
And then
here
you're
when he
getting
said I'm
pissed
doing a
off.
man search, I thought he was gonna say he was like picking up heavy stuff to look under it. I was like, I picked up a soda can.
But just the simplest thing can throw me off. And instead of being that person that goes, why are you getting angry about something so stupid? Why are you getting angry about something so childish, like you can't find something? And instead going, hey, just walk the fuck away from it for a minute and then come back to it, and you'll find it and it'll be fine, everything will be good.
Yep.
You don't have to act like that. Like it's okay for you to act like this, but you're okay. It's not going to kill you right now.
Oh yeah,
Where
man.
in the past I would have somebody go, why are you getting so angry? Why are you getting so frustrated about something so stupid? But she understands it because
Oh yeah.
she's a nurse and she deals with people all day. So a lot more patience than I do. She has all the patience in the relationship.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it. I recently did a video probably like 3 weeks, a month ago or something, where I don't get them often, man, but sometimes just out of nowhere I'll get these random panic attacks that literally feel like I'm gonna have to go to the hospital for like my heart, where it's just like my literally my arm, like everything they tell you happens in a heart attack, right? My arm, my left or both will go numb, not completely numb, but they're just like super tingly and numb feeling.
Mhm.
My heart feels like it's doing backflips, and I'm just like, dude, is this panic, or do I like legit need to go get checked out by a cardiologist or something? Like, what's happening? And anytime I've ever been that guy that's like, look, I was in Iraq, I was around smoke pits, I got buddies that got cancers. I'm not effing around. I'm going. Every time I've ever done that in those scenarios, it always comes back, yeah, you're perfectly fine. And then the doctor come in and be like, Mr. Howard, do you know what a panic attack is? And I'm like, here we go again. We're going through this again. So like they always give me a clean bill of health, that it's nothing with my heart, and it's that. So like recently out of nowhere, I had one come on, and like I was like, all right, I got to put down work. I left my desk here, went upstairs, had Coop right there with me. He got on top of me, did his deep pressure therapy, laying on me, putting all his weight on me. And I text Caitlin. I felt like I was like so embarrassed slash didn't want to tell her, but I knew I needed to. So I just texted her and I was like, I have no idea where it's coming from. I'm having a panic attack. Literally, I'm probably gonna get emotional when I say this, dude. Literally, when she texted me back, she was like, "Baby, we're all okay. We're all safe. Me and the kids are good. You're fine." I was like, she just literally said like all the things I needed to hear that I was worried about in that moment. Like, how the hell did she pull all that off out of nowhere? Like, was
Mhm.
not like was not like what we as men think they're gonna be like. Oh, here we go again. I've got this bitch man over here that's upstairs huffing and puffing and hyperventilating over fucking nothing. Like, because that's how you feel like you're gonna be perceived, and that's why I was like, dude, do I really want to tell her that? Like, I'm pretty sure that I might be able to get through this. I'm like, no, I got to. And then I was just like, let me do it, right? And then she came back with that, and I was like, she came home that night, and I was like, that was literally everything I needed to hear. Like,
Right.
where did you come from? Like, and I really feel like God plays huge situations in this type of stuff too, because my grandmother was my best friend, dude. Raised me. I was at her house every single day. My parents got divorced when I was young, so every day after school, I'd go over there. Whoever's week it was would come pick me up when they got off work. So I was theoretically raised by her. She was my second mom. She passed in March of 2022. I met Caitlin in June of 2022. And it was like, I took one best friend, here's your other one. And all of my exes, right? Like such toxic relationships, never got along.
Mhm.
Freaking, they would treat me like straight garbage if I had something like that happen. Um, like I have exes where like if we got in a fight or even like a little tiff, not even talk to me for like 2 weeks at a time. Would just like hold that grudge for 14 days straight. Like
Sounds
not
so
no
familiar.
no text message, no, hey, how you doing? Like the literal another cliche, like two ships in the night, going through the hallways in our home together, like for like 2 weeks, and then finally out of nowhere, like, and then it's like, oh my God, we're gonna talk now. Okay, it's only been 15 days. Sure, it's been I've gone through an entire pay period, but sure, let's have a conversation. Like, but with Caitlin, it's like if we don't even have arguments, that's what's crazy. We don't even have arguments. But anytime we have like a
Yeah.
little tiff or a little misunderstanding, she is always the first one to come to me and be like, "Come on, we need to fix this. Just give me a hug." Like
Hug it out. Hug it out.
literally, it'll take 10 minutes max. Like not no 2 weeks, and I know I needed that, and it's just like so crazy how God just like, here you go,
Yep.
perfect one for you. I know you went through all the shit ones. Here's the perfect one. Congratulations. Like,
Yeah, so Heather and I are the same way. We don't fight. Like we've never had a big like knockdown drag out fight. We've been together since 2022. So about the same length of time as you and Caitlin. And so I was talking to her the other day. I was like, you tell me not to yell at you on your cellular device, but I'm never really yelling at you. I'm just like getting like that man voice. Like I'm
The
just
Yeah.
getting that man
emotional.
voice. So I'm like, well, I don't understand why it's not working. And then she's like, stop yelling at me on my cellular device, and she'll hang up. She'll call back. She goes, are you good now?
No.
So like that's the extent of our arguments. It's not even really an argument. It's just like a little, hey, calm the fuck down. But anytime I've ever been emotional, because believe it or not, this being June, Men's Mental Health Month, you know, men are okay to be emotional. Like it is okay to cry. I don't know how we grew up being told men don't cry, men are strong, men bring the food home, women cook in the kitchen. Like I don't know where all that came from. I don't know why it was a thing, but anytime I've ever been emotional, she has said, hey, it's okay. I'm here.
Yep.
So we're good. Everybody's okay. We got money. Like when I got laid off last July, She's like, we're okay. We got money. I can cover the bills. You take care of what you got to take care of and get back on your feet. And everything will work out. And everything did. I live in Florida now. I live in paradise. And everything worked out.
Debatable.
And
Florida
okay,
man.
well, Anyways, I don't have to pay for another beach vacation. So, I mean, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Fair enough.
But it was just like God knew who I needed. God knew that I needed a patient woman who can put up with all of my little ticks and figure out all the tricks to take care of me, but at the same time still allow me to be a man and be a provider and be the head of the household. So, yeah, man, it's crazy how God works sometimes.
Oh yeah. And like, remember when I told you that in 2024 I took like hiatuses and whatnot? There was literally one time where I was like, I saw myself on a video and I realized like how bad I got. I had gotten up to like nearly 240 pounds. You know, that might not sound like a lot, but when you're freaking in a little 5'6" package, that's a lot, right? Like I would have definitely not even passed tape then if we were doing weigh-ins at the Marine Corps for sure. Like
You could have probably been 200 pounds and still not made it. That tape system is so fucked.
Exactly. So like I saw my face. I'll send you the screenshot of the video I'm talking about. I saw my face, bro, and my face just looked so like I looked like Captain Cortisol, bro. Like I was just full of like fat, and my face just looked. I looked very unhealthy. Like I looked like there was something wrong with me. Not just that I was fat. Like something was very wrong with me. I looked like I was sick or something. And like I finally was like, dude, I gotta do something about this, bro. So like November 22nd, of course, ironically the 22nd, I lost my job and I was like, I gotta do something, dude. Like being laid off as well as feeling and looking like this, something has got to change again. This is gonna be just like your look in the mirror when you got sober. Like, gotta do it. So like I started like walking with Coop and then doing that every day and then trying to like push the gallon of water a day, trying to like stay away from sugar as much as possible, trying to push like the gram of protein per pound of body weight per day intake, and then started going to the gym every day. And like I started seeing it come off and like lost 77 pounds or something like that since November. And I remember like having the realization, like, you're telling me that this 10 that I'm with stuck with me when I looked like that. Like didn't leave, didn't like withhold intimacy or like being affectionate towards me or anything. It was like nothing had changed. It was like status quo and how good our relationship is. And I had this moment with her up in our closet. We were putting laundry away and like I had just seen that video and I was like, do you see how bad I looked? You didn't go anywhere. You didn't say anything. You didn't leave. Like, because I felt like when I was in it, I didn't realize how bad it really was until now. I'm seeing pictures, looking back, like, oh my god. And I just said to her, like, you know, you didn't go anywhere. You didn't say anything. You didn't leave. And just the way that she looked at me, like this look, like, what are you, fucking stupid? And like she was like, I love you. And I was just like, insta tears, dude. Insta tears. Like I just started crying in my freaking closet, dude. Start closet crying with her up there in the walk-in closet putting laundries away.
Is that what they call it nowadays?
Yep.
Closet crying.
Yep. I was closet crying, man.
Oh man, dude, Mike, honestly, most genuine person I freaking know. Your story, what you do for the veteran community, even though it just started off as you posting videos of you and your dog. What you do and the voice that you have in this community is so important. And I mean, honestly, man, I can't wait to see what the next like 5 years brings for you because
Absolutely.
I think that Coop and Mike are obviously a duo for a reason, but the amount of emotion that you bring to a situation, the Till Valhalla plaques, the connecting with veterans at events and being that supportive voice in the community rather than the negative voice in the community. I really honestly can't wait to see what the next 5 years has to hold for you because it's going to be freaking amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I will say the one thing I'm scared about right now, right, is because being in like this financial like hardship that I've been going through since like November, I've been like dabbling with the idea and kind of doing research on like getting back into doing some ads. Um, and the only thing that ever scares me about that is I never want anybody to like get to my page and be like, oh my God, he's doing an ad. That is not Coop and Mike. Like, so like even at the same time, I'm still like, okay, well, I can do an add-on for that because I literally use this product like I'm still trying to be my integral self, right? I'm like, okay, this is literally the protein I use. This is like literally the freaking what do you call it? Creamy rice I use. Like this is literally so I've been like dabbling with that idea. I don't know if I'm gonna make a second profile to maybe do some of that with. I'm just been out here looking for like second streams of income and whatnot, and it just seems like everything keeps pushing me towards that. And I had a buddy the other day talk to me and be like, bro, at the end of the day, everybody knows who you are. Everybody that cares to know you knows who you are. And you know what?
Mhm.
I know if you get a second stream of income, what are you going to end up doing with most of that second stream of income? Giving back to the veteran community in some way by building something, most likely. And I was like,
Hmm.
bro, I love you. Thank you so much for that TED talk. I needed it, man. Because I always get so scared about like perception. You don't know how many times I have people like come at me sideways like recently there was a Marine Corps veteran, right? There's a Marine Corps veteran that was like, "Oh, must be nice at 400,000 followers almost. Must be nice. Make that kind of money." I was like, "Bro, do you realize that it does not matter how many followers you have, that if you are even in the creator program, which I was not for the longest time, but if you even are, it goes off of your views. You could have a million
Mhm.
freaking followers, post videos all day long and only get 300 views and get like 5 cents at the end of the month. Like,
Yeah.
so what are you talking about, bro? I was like,
Yep.
even in the times I was in the creator program, I want to say maybe I made $600 over the last 4 years. Break that down by 4 years, but it's not. I'm not over here driving a Ferrari. Like, I don't know
Right.
what you're talking about, man. So I always get worried about this perception because there's so many people out there that think like, just like we once did, right? Like we were saying earlier about Amarok, like having the fangirl moment. But sometimes it goes that opposite way of the
Mhm.
double-edged sword, right? And people are like, oh, he's got this many followers. He must be rolling in it. Bro, if you could see the bills that are piling up, I wish I was that dude that had a million plus followers and could just post something and I could be sitting there eating and people are just like, I gotta watch it because it's so and so. Okay, he just got a million views. Okay, there you go. His bills just got paid for the month, but it's never gonna be that way. Especially
Right.
in the niche that we're in and trying
Hmm.
to help veterans. Like there's so many people out there that just don't give a shit. Right? They just
Mhm.
go right by it. It is our community that cares about it. And that's probably why I care so much about the perceptions, because I never want there to be that veteran out there to be like, oh, this dude cares more about this than he does about our community. Because it'll never be that dude. Like if you could cut this dude open right here and open up that heart, y'all are taking up a huge freaking part of it. I can tell you that much right now. Like there'll be
Yeah.
a huge percentage
That's
of it taken up by veterans.
that's my biggest like. So with my nonprofit VB422, like that's my biggest concern is people thinking that, oh well, he's got this nonprofit and he's just trying to make himself look good, he's just trying to get money to, so that he doesn't have to work a regular job. Well, what people don't understand is I run this nonprofit, I do this podcast, I work a 9 to 5 job or 8 to 5 job, and I'm a member of a motorcycle club. I was like, my freaking dance card is full. And guess what? Until I got my VA benefits, um, I was living paycheck to paycheck because I too just came off of a period of unemployment where I got laid off from a job where I was
Yeah.
making 130 plus a year, and I didn't have to worry about money because the bills were paid and whatever. So, like, it's my biggest concern is that people are going to think that way about me as well when I go to start asking people to donate to a good cause. Like, oh, he's just trying to do it so he doesn't have to work. Well, guess what, brother? If I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't be financing a new Harley Davidson tomorrow. I'd be paying cash for it. So you know what I'm saying? And it's just it's so weird in the veteran community because you see people like, you know, Justin Nunley, who just has a huge following, and he did it while he was in the service, right? And then you see people like you know, let's just say like Brandy and what's his name? The couple that does all the funny videos. He's got the Ferrari and the Supra and the whatever in his garage now, but they make a boatload of money. Like you see all these creators, and guess what? They can go live and have thousands of people in their lives gifting them
Yep.
thousands of dollars, and they're
Mhm.
set. They're set for a week, so they don't have to worry about money, right? But guess what? They worked to get there.
Yep.
It's not like they just instantly just got lucky. No,
It
they
doesn't
worked to
happen
get there.
overnight.
No, success is not overnight. And I wish people would understand that. Like VB422 is going to be my legacy to pass down to, you know, the next veteran who wants to take it over. It's not for me to get notoriety, just like your page isn't for you to get notoriety. You do this so that you can bring light to the fallen heroes and the people dealing with mental health issues and stuff like that. Josh and I do this podcast so that we can talk about the real issues that are censored on social media, where we can
Mhm.
say the words like suicide and gun and, you know, all of those words that are, you know,
Taboo.
bad words on TikTok. So it sucks that people see your followers and they go, "Oh, this guy's got 400,000 followers. He's doing all right."
Yep.
But if that was the case, Scrappy wouldn't be trying to get his house fixed. It'd be
Yep.
fixed, you know.
Yeah.
And the sad part is people don't realize we're normal human beings on the other side of this screen. Like we have our struggles, we have our financial issues, you know, we have our family issues, we have our internal issues, and I urge people to take your story and look and see what they can do for the next person rather than trying to say woe is me, you know, because here you are, you're a former addict, right? You're someone who deals with mental health issues probably daily, but
Yep.
you're thinking about other people.
Mhm.
And when you do good things for other people, you you don't realize it at first, but when you do those good things, it feels good. And it's a whole different kind of high. It's a whole different kind of addiction
Yep.
to help other people. And I know we don't normally get into religion on here, but you know, God is the one true, you know, He is the true north. You know, pick up your Bible, go to church, um, find something to believe in. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I think you exemplify all those things. And man, I absolutely love you, brother. Like,
I love you too, man.
Stassi loves Mikey.
I love it.
Oh Lord, that is 100% going to be a video. Thank you
Oh,
Oh,
for
yeah,
that.
hey, man.
absolutely.
Content is good.
Content
Mikey
is
loves
good.
Stalzy and Joshy. There you go. I got both
There
of
you
you.
go.
I know. I
Well, Mike,
know.
I really do appreciate it, man. I knew we were going to go over our hour mark. We're at an hour and 35, but awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story, talking to us about everything. Um, anything that we can do for you in the future, you let us know. Pick up the phone. You got my number. You know I'm there. Um, but yeah,
You don't have my number, but I'm still here.
Yep. I know that.
he is
I
still
know
No,
here.
that.
no, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. Like I've obviously followed you for a while. You know, we've interacted in some lives, but to sit here and hear you tell your story and the things that you've experienced, and I mean, it's moving, right? Um, the fact that you just live to help even a single person a day is enough. And you know, I feel if we as a community can have that same mindset, whether we have our specific uh, avenues of approach of dealing with it is irrelevant. But if we can help one person, and then that person helps another person, and then that person helps another person, here we are. We shouldn't have a problem anymore.
Yep.
Man, it's
Yep.
been, like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, man. Like, I love doing stuff like this. I love getting the story out there, as far as, you know, just hoping that somebody will watch, listen, whatever, you know, whatever format they consume it in, and end up just taking away like that little piece of hope, man. That little piece of hope. Because look at, man, this life is going to go by in an instant. I am already, you know, I'm going to be 40 in December, and I'm already like thinking about how many years I'll have left with Caitlin, how many years I'll have left with our kids, right? How many years. Yeah, I just saw a video today of Tim Kennedy on Instagram, and the sound on it was like talking about, you know, a 40-year-old man has already been through 60% of his life. He has typically 30 plus years, or 30 whatever years left, blah, 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 because the average American man dies at 73 or whatever. And I was like, bro, I'm already over half my life if it goes that route for me. Like, and that half went by like that, bro. It feels like just yesterday I was a 19-year-old kid in Iraq with my brothers.
Right.
And here I am, like, I saw one for the first time in 16 years 2 years ago. Like, it was our first time getting back together, 16 years. Now, granted, did we pick up like that right where we left off? Because that's what we all do as brothers. Heck yeah. And it was awesome. But you could tell the time it changed us. That's for sure. And it's just crazy to think, like, it's going to be by an instant, man. I believe in God, so I'm not. I have the fear of what it's going to be like to die, like what that transition is going to be like when your eyes finally do close. Because let's be honest, any of us that have ever gone into surgery or something, when they put you to sleep, it goes black. Like, it goes black until you wake back up. So I feel like all of us have that little innate fear that, like, well, what if it really does just all go black, and then it's just
Black.
black? But that's not it, man. That's not it. I guarantee you, I've seen way too much. I've experienced way too much to know that there's going to be something after. And it's like, that's going to come quick as crap. I don't know what that other side is going to be like, if it's going to be a whole new experience, if this one's just getting us prepared for that one. But it's going to go by so fast, dude. And it's like, why rush that, right? Why do you want to get to that so fast as your permanent solution for whatever the problem is that you're having right now? It totally tears my heart up inside, dude, that we got brothers and sisters out there that are literally sitting right where we once were and are like, there's nothing left for me. I might as well. But bro, I'm telling you, I'm not even talking about just myself. I have met so many veterans, so many that were like in that same spot. Some of them are like entrepreneurs today, have owned multi-million-dollar businesses, freaking like taking on the damn world, man. And it's like, all of us have that, you know, that Rocky story, right? Where we're getting the shit kicked out of us by Apollo, but then we come back in number 2 and whoop the shit out of him. Like, we're gonna have those moments, man. So just keep moving forward. That's all I can say. One day at a time, one step at a time. Just keep it going and work on yourself. Like, do the work, put in the hard stuff, do the physical, do the emotional, do the mental, do the spiritual, like, do it all, dude. And if you're not doing it, then that's even more of a reason not to end it. Put in that work and then see what happens. Then see what that can do for you on that other side of that work. Because I guarantee you, you're not going to feel the way you are now if you put in that work. Is it hard as shit? Yes. But is it worth it? Hell yes.
Absolutely.
So do it.
Hell yeah.
That's my piece. I made us go over another 10 minutes. My bad.
Hell yeah.
All
That's
good,
what I'm
all
talking
good.
about. All right. Well, Mike, we're going to drop you down to do the conclusion of the show. But, man, I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
Just phenomenal person. I hope I can grow up to be like you one day. So, but
I hope so, too.
we'll close the show out, and then I'll bring you back up, and we can just shoot the shit. Or if you want to go, you can go to sleep. I know you want to go cuddle up next to your beautiful fiance. So, everybody, this was Mike Howard. If you guys want to reach him on TikTok, he is Coop Mike. He is also on Facebook. Are you Coop Mike on Facebook too?
It's on there. I know Coop Mike's on there somewhere. It might just be Mike Howard, but Coop Mike's behind it or something like that. It's connected to my Instagram. I don't really do the Facebook thing. It's just
One and the
automatically over
same.
there. Yeah.
One and the same. So go look him up, man. Give him some love. Tell him how much you appreciate what he does. And Mike, we appreciate having you, and talk to you
Thanks
soon.
again, brother.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Man,
holy shit!
An hour and 41 minutes.
I was not prepared.
I was not prepared either. I mean, my bladder was full about 40 minutes ago. So, man, freaking awesome dude, man. Like, inspiring, emotional. I wish I could be as vulnerable as he is in his content. I am with my wife, I am with my family. But I wish I could be vulnerable like that, where I could show people, you know, hey, I'm just as fucking broken as you are, dude.
Yeah, it's tough for sure.
Yeah. But I think that's all we have time for tonight.
I do have one last thing.
Ooh.
So, totally random, not related to this in any means, but I feel that it needs to be said out loud. While we've been doing this podcast, Aaron Rodgers is signed with, take a guess.
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I knew he was traveling to Pittsburgh, so he's literally probably just going there to be a veteran presence.
Probably. But that's all.
Wow.
That's all I had. But
Good luck to him.
It was an absolute pleasure to have you on the show tonight. We'll have to do this again soon. There's a lot more I'm sure we can dive into when we can plan to be on here longer and or more strategic. But as always, I'm the unapologetic veteran. Stay unapologetic, and remember, the mission never ends.
Yep, you guys, and as always, this podcast is brought to you by Homefront Sit Rep, Heroes Media Group. You guys can catch us on YouTube at Unapologetic Veterans, Instagram, unapologetic_veterans_podcast. On Facebook, we're just the Unapologetic Veteran, I think is what you have it as.
Correct. I've got to update a little bit, but yes.
Hell yeah. So like, share, subscribe, man. You guys send it out to your friends, your family. Send it out to a veteran who may just want to listen to what other veterans are going through. And as always, you guys, we appreciate all the love you guys have shown. You guys have kept it really busy here tonight, and stay unapologetic.